and you're watching some art stuff over here, how to draw anime. Whether you like drawing or not, you can grab some pencil and paper to follow what I'm doing, or you can just sit back at your party, enjoy some drawing anime demonstrations. Drawing anime can easily express a bunch of different styles in one word, and as you know, each artist has each styles. But what I focused on is freedom from real life. I like going with some crazy movement and expressions, but I still rather want to make it look as correct in real as possible. It's kind of aching point because it's hard to find the answer to solve both artistic side and academic side at the same time, you know? So, you know, for some of you guys who already had the experience before, so you know what I mean. So then I came up 3 elements to draw a nice anime character: emotions, features, and poses. Emotions start from a simple smile face. For example, happy face, sad face, and angry face, something like that. But everybody knows about it. And then there's character, always start from those simple face structure. And features. Features is what your character has, like what kind of eyes and ears and a mouth. Not only the face, but also the body features, like proportions, on and on and on. Your character can be already great enough with these 2 elements, but there's actually one more: poses. I like to add poses because there's some contrast, even though if the same person is. For example, even the supermodel can be ugly with some vanilla pose that actually happen in real life too. So, you know, you never know, expect how powerful poses are. So yeah, you can keep an eye on what I'm gonna do with these 3 keywords. It's like the entire time dealing with perspectives and exaggerations, working on these points, alright? Anyway, first off, let's relax and do some sketches. This is actually your brainstorming, but you can doodle on your paper whatever you feel like drawing until you'll find the most favorite character. I'm gonna draw some like simple girl character here, and again, this is doodle, so don't worry about the perspective and stuff like that. Just doodle anything. It never has to be great drawing yet, okay? Once you're done with this sketch, and there's just go another, draw this and draw that, yada yada yada. Use your dynamic lines like flow. Don't mind about details. It doesn't have to be body, it's just, you know, stick figure kind of stuff. It's fine as long as you get the pose and features. So, I keep going, like nailing. You're at somewhere like a outside cafe and find out some girl. Okay, let's draw some girl over there, but don't stare at them. Just stare at your back and something happen, but don't let it bad happen. Right? One sketch down, then go another. Okay. No, you don't need an eraser, just don't mind about the stuff you just did. Just go, flip the page, and just get the new one. Try a new drawing, right? So pretty much keep sketching like this again and again, and sometimes let it sleep for days and come back to draw again. Then you slightly start finding out like most favorite character. Whenever you feel like, yeah, like this is it, or oh well, maybe I can give it a try. you can still develop it. So go ahead, start sketching the final image, right? So now I found, and you know what kind of character you're going to draw. So it's time for rough, like bones of the character you're drawing. Yeah, the rough is my style to kick off the draft process. It's called Atari in Japanese. Atari. Yeah, you think of some stone game or the music band or anything? No, nothing to do with that. But it's like it seems like there's no exact word in English, but it's like some kind of guidelines. No, I guess I can say that. Yeah, guidelines. I'm drawing some stick figure kind of stuff here for Atari, and as the measurement of the body parts. Okay. Right. If you want to challenge yourself for some crazy pose, use your reference. You want to draw like jump keep pose, search photos by jump keep pose. So. Or the artist's small mannequin is helpful, like that kind of thing. I think you've seen this one. They're pretty cheap. Also nowadays there's some advanced type of anime figure toy version with a lot of hinges. That'll be helpful too. Once you get used to drawing many different poses, maybe you can start creating your image without any reference. But I recommend come back to reference sometimes because real life is always your standard of drawing. Oh. Right, and then what I'm doing is like after drawing some Atari, let's adjust. It's time to work on a little bit of perspective. That's what I'm doing. Arms and legs should be as long as each other, right and left. But of course, due to the perspective, the further sides are smaller and shorter. If your character does some weird pose like mine, don't be too nervous about math, like 1-point perspective or 2-point, whatever. No, don't mind about it. Because my drawing here is already distorted, so the character never loses the feeling. But I try to get rid of wrong parts, like just reaching the correct perspective as much as I can. Here's some easy tips to correct errors. Let me show you. Your eyes might trick yourself to wrong perspective, which makes it harder for you to find errors on your drawing. So for that, if that happens, you check out with flipping papers right and left. Right? You can see through the paper to a light source, correct and adjust that time by time. No. And okay, I'm pretty much okay. So whenever you feel good about it, let's move on to draft. Okay, so now I pretty much made some guidelines here. So we're gonna do some drafts, okay? First, on face. Drag center line to decide the face's direction. And next, let's make a jaw. And another line crossing on face. This cross line becomes a center of the face, okay? You can draw face now, but I'd say only Atari, the guidelines for now. We're going to work on the face later. Now, let's go for the body shape. One of the popular questions people ask me in the past workshop, mostly every year, is anatomy. Like, should I know detailed anatomies or which part of anatomy should I know? My answer is always like as much as you need to know, but yeah, it's not helpful answer, I know. So I'm going to show you the most major parts I always keep in mind. Actually, that's the reason why I picked up a simple character here. So we'll be able to stick on more important stuff like emotion things, as I mentioned. Basically, a female body's thinner and smoother than a male's, right? So let's draw the shoulders smaller and arms thinner, like that. Also, the lower arms shapes like almost like the S curve pairing with the straight line. Let's work on hands, roughly like this, based on Atari. There are many body types based on gender, age, their metabolism perhaps, but here I'm working on the standard girl character, okay? The thin waist can be one of the most major features of a girl, but breast-wise, I like adding less volume. Well, if that's your character setup, go ahead, make it bigger, but otherwise, I recommend smaller. You know, in real life, it looks smaller than your imagination in most cases. Oh. Anyway, next, legs. Thigh has a bit dent inside, right here. And the lower leg also go slight S and straight, just like the lower arms. The feet. Let's draw simply so far like a pyramid or roll by adding toes and heels. Right? You go other side. The top view of a foot goes like this. You should check out your hands and feet. That would be great reference. Okay, so here are some kind of tricky parts. How can you draw some body parts facing towards us or away from us, like Z direction? You can't easily see the outlines, right? So, yeah, in my experience, that was overwhelming for me too at the beginning. And that's the true story. When I was little, I was like trying to draw above the paper, like 3D painting in virtual reality. Seriously. But I was so confused that time. Anyway, in this case, you made a bit of dimensional imagination. Like example, think the arm, some kind of cylinder with slice them, these red lines. Think of those slices, okay? We're going to connect each slice at your drawing one by one. Oh, that was the arm, but this time it's legs. Okay? To build up the body part, so you'll be able to see the outlines at the end. Right. This is quite helpful once you get used to it. And at the same time, you get to learn some 3D stuff, Okay, now finally, we're going to be working on the face. Then we'll finish the sketch phase, alright? Facial drawing influences a lot on style, so but maybe I'll keep it down from too much anime looks this time, staying in some standard style. Eyebrows, and irises, and then pupil. Pupil, yes. You guys seen some kind of transition of trends of pupil during these 20, 30 years? Like, drawing style of eyes and pupils keeps changing by, decades, or kind of like, I'm going to show you. This is the old style, like 90s, and this 2000s. maybe around 2000. No. Then now characters' eyes become like rounder and smaller, for example, comparing with the old animes in the past decades. Well, there's no rule like that, but that's popularity. Like, let's say a recent majority preference, kind of like that. Let's do this. The eyes rounder, softer lines for the pupils, then not too much highlights. Kind of humble these days. Humble drawing on the eyes these days. Okay, let's do nose and mouth. Okay, done. Maybe you can also add some extra lines around the eyes, so the face can be more three-dimensional. And still, at the same time, it keeps the simple look. Okay, so now you get your character ready to jump into lining. For me, lining is some sort of making it look freshly finished, but this process affects the style as well. Each stroke has a curve and emphasis of pressures, like calligraphy, you know. The line has a quality and accents, so it affects the style. The final lines and those effects start putting everything you nailed back in all the process together. So you're going to see some interesting results. Also, whatever I'm drawing is digital here to save time for demonstrations. But if you draw on paper, you can line on tracing paper over your drawing. Excuse me. Well, I'm supposed to take an extra step before lining, just like a draft lining kind of process. But no, because you want to clarify the lines before tracing, I kind of skipped the process here, however, due to the time. There's something I forgot to talk about in draft process: clothes. Drape folds seems random and it doesn't let you easily do the job, apparently. But you know, that's also some things you can like make it simple. Drape folds are usually it happens physically, like when you pinch, you squeeze and pull the fabrics. Each action creates each particular folds and wrinkles, so you can pretty much draw them to learn, like anatomy. No. But another hardship about drawing clothes is how to use lines to draw them. In real life, you catch some lines on shadows and shades of clothes. But if you want to clarify it, you can draw each shape of the folds, like drawing some groups of tubes. So don't be afraid. Okay, I kind of have to cut the middle of the lining process. Let me show you instead some shading. Many of you have a hard time dealing with the shading, I guess. But as always, I'll let you start from big simple stuff to tiny detail. Since again, we're working on the simple anime characters, we're going to learn very simple part of shading. It will look better with simple shades in anime. Okay, first thing to do for shading is decide the position of light source. Then find shading spots based on that all the time. You can create multiple lights, but here as a demonstration, I'll make a single light, simply. Maybe you've seen some academic picture with the bold and light and shade to understand the mechanism of light and shade stuff. Kind of like that. But you know what? Just forget about it. That's not the art school here, so I'll talk in more practical way using this girl character. Anyways, we're gonna find the big shades first. Under the light, by thinking of the characters, head and body can be like balls or objects. You just handle simply, roughly, very roughly. Okay. Even on paper or using canvas or charcoal, somebody used that, you get to be confident of ignoring detail shades so far. You can come back and, do whatever you want. So, big part is the most important. Some might wonder why this part has a shade like this. Well, the shade is made of all the obstacles through the light ray. So check out objects and any body parts nearby to see if they're blocking the way. I'm pretty sure you find that should be blocking the way. So, one more especially, this is something you want to know. When you draw anime characters, it's likely that the face doesn't have much details of shades. Like right here. Of course, if you know real physics, it's totally like that, right? But I won't do that. I just leave it less shades. Okay? The reason is that I want to show the character face well and to make it stand out. Because in anime especially, characters' facial expression are very important, as well as keep their faces clear and beautiful. Like one of the necessary artistic ignorance, kind of that. Well, you might be worried your drawing is correct or not, but again, that's not a math. And anything that the other people can snatch your freedom by pointing out those errors, but it shouldn't be like that. So keep your drawing life as fun as possible. All right, we're gonna do some cleanup here. Then we'll quickly wrap up the shading process. And after that, you can color it. Well, I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna have to cut the process here though for the time. Let's say mission almost accomplished around here. Yeah. Line up the edge and yep, that's pretty much it. And I'm sorry I did this kind of like a cooking show stuff, 3 minutes cooking show. It's like shortcutted, but I'm pretty sure you guys did pretty good job. So, right. Okay, 25 minutes, non-stop. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I kind of have to fast forward some process at the end, but pretty much I talked about the essence of building a character, mainly in concepts and draft process. And if you have any questions or comments, please visit my Instagram, and hopefully I can answer everything. Right. Also, here's some AX Lite exclusive. I'll be doing a little giveaway. Hold on, there's some right here. All right, this one. Yeah, 3 pages of big scenes from my new comic book, 5D. This is not released yet, and I'm gonna send you the 3 digital copies of pages via Instagram. So all you gotta do is follow my Instagram. Make sure to send me the message saying, hey, I heard from AX video, thought you're gonna give me something. So I'm gonna send you the link to download those pages, right? Right then, it's kind of rushed at the end. Sorry, but yeah, thanks for watching. I hope I can see you guys next year in person, maybe at Convention Center. Till then, Everybody, please stay safe, stay cool, stay fun with the rest of the show.
Hey everyone, that was MinoMiyabi teaching us how to draw anime. He's a regular panelist and attendee favorite here at AX, and we are so glad that he was able to join us this year. Thank you so much, Mr. Miyabi. He's also the one who's going to fill in the second eye of our digital Daruma during our closing ceremonies this year. So stay tuned for that.
That's absolutely exciting. I cannot wait for that one. But I mean, I want the show to go on forever, of course. But hey, I'm looking forward to see more artwork by him because those lines and the beautiful detail of the hair is so specific. Love it.
He's really easy to follow too. I'm not an artist by any stretch, or at least with physical medium, I can't draw like at all. So I find him really easy to follow.
Yeah, I mean, I used to draw a lot as a kid instead of doing my homework or like instead, you know, but there'd be like great anime ladies like full out instead of work. And so that's why I like the arts. I'm so glad that he did this class because it would help me out back in the day.
Yeah, I think for like the, hardcore anime fans, one of the things that you get to appreciate is, the art form of, the drawing and everything and all the different styles and everything, the little the little subtleties that you pick up on. And so it's just really cool to get that demonstrated, like,
But what I loved about his tutorials were that it's so easy, like you said, it's easy to follow and it's good for beginners. I'm like you, Brandon. I can't draw worth a lick. And I'm reminded of my time when I was younger and my aunt brought a Japanese exchange student to spent some time with us, and she drew anime. It was perfect. It was one of my first brushes with the anime world, and I tried to replicate the drawing on my own. And remembering what I attempted when I was younger, it wasn't pretty. So, so getting to see a little how-to on what I can do to really improve it makes me wonder, maybe I could go back and maybe relive some memories and try my hand again at some art. I don't know.
Redeem yourself.
Exactly.
Childhood memories.
Yes, my 9-year-old self would thank me.
I mean, don't get me wrong, like even in my situation, like still learning perspective and like proportions is still a big thing in my world. I'd be like, this arm's this big. That's fine. So getting to see this, hey, it's anybody can learn from what Mr. Miyabi did.
I'm really glad that the guests here are staying involved with us here at AX with the Daruma, right? Because we also have Shinichi Matsumi, who filled in the first eye of the Daruma, and we can see Mr. Matsumi in the orange panel tomorrow and check our schedule to find out the exact time. But I think it's really neat that our guests are staying involved, even though they can't be here in person with us. We're staying united globally through this event, and it's really cool to see.
Yeah. It definitely fits the theme that we're saying. Again, anime is global, and we're all connected here. We may be together apart, but the most important thing for me is we're all here together, share this shared experience, and again, a blessing for everybody who's involved, from putting it together to all those who are viewing. So thanks to everybody.
Absolutely.
There's a really cool panel coming up next from two producers for Lupin the Third. And we're going to find out what the world can expect from the world's greatest thief. Lupin the Third is a name that's been around for a while. This is like standard anime repertoire that you should know, I feel. Lupin the Third.
Right. Lupin the Third comes back from, I think it's like 1965, like way, like really, really back in the day. But that being said, I mean, Lupin was always a part of, these are, as you said, those staples. This is how you start anime. I mean, in the 90s, if you will, when we finally got it. Which is, again, why it's so great that Anime EXPO and that we have this wonderful global community happening. Because again, we just got it in the 90s. So we're just very, very lucky. And I'm enjoying this all together.
There's been tons of content from that series, and so I'm really excited to see what is up next for Lupin the Third, the world's greatest thief. This panel coming up is going to be live, and you can catch it on demand over the next 2 days. But it's only for the next 2 days, so make sure you check it out before that time ends. Otherwise, you'll miss it entirely, and you don't want that. So make sure you check it out. We've got Lupin the Third producers coming up next.
はい、アメリカのルパンファンの皆さん、こんにちは。テレコムアニメーションフィルムの清園です。よろしくお願いいたします。
トムスエンターテインメントの野崎です。よろしくお願いします。ルパン三世のパート5からルパン三世に案件に絡ませていただいてます。どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。子供の頃からルパン三世、日本でもやっぱり再放送等々テレビスペシャルであったり流れていましたので、本当にプロデューサーになる前のルパン三世の印象としては本当に大人の作品かなとして見てましたね。で、やっぱりただ実際やっぱ自分が携わってみると、やっぱそうではなくて、本当に皆さんいろいろな仕掛けをやっていただいてて、子供から大人まで楽しめる作品っていう印象に変わっていきました。
僕は1972年のまでで、日